how does reading ability influence physics achievement now? So here are some key mechanisms that we can consider. First is to understand complex text. Now, students need to understand complex text, right? In physics textbooks, often contain advanced vocabulary and complex sentence structures. So you know that. Now, even you as teachers, when you encounter, for example, some physics textbooks, would require you a very good vocabulary of some terms that are used in those physics books. So, for example, understanding terms of maybe we can talk about now in the perspective of the students. For example, understanding terms like kinetic energy, Newton's laws, or it requires not only familiarity but also context comprehension, right? So when we talk, for example, when a student first time encounters first time the word Newton, what is Newton, right? Uh, what is kinetic energy? So you would encounter that one in some of our students, right? In my experience before, when I was a physics teacher in high school, some students would also, when I give exams, uh, you would encounter questions on not how on not on not on a specific idea of of the topic, but specifically the meaning of the word. Let's say, for example, I countered when I give exams during my time in the LSU. Uh, Students would ask me, "Sir, what is the meaning of this?" When I look at the word, it's a word magnitude. Magnitude. So they don't know the term magnitude. Maybe it's on my part also as a teacher that I wasn't able to explain it very well to them. But that gives me an idea. Um, I wasn't able to give it. I wasn't able to explain or probably give the meaning first to the students before I worked on or before I gave them the lesson. So, or I just don't know. Maybe the student is just absent during my my lecture or during my discussion, right? So, when we look at this, there are of course a lot of terms in physics that we need to we need to define first, right? We need to define first at the very beginning, very at the very least at the start of our topic, or maybe in during the discussion. You have to define it to them that they have to understand, right? When the assessment comes, they'll be able to answer or to at least comprehend the text, right? Also, um, what's the influence of the reading ability into the physics achievement? Another one is the following multi-step problem solving. So many physics problems require interpreting multiple steps of concepts from a text. So for instance, a student may need to read a problem about projectile motion, right? That involves both horizontal and vertical components. Some students doesn't know that. Uh, and effective reading skills are essential for deciphering such problems. Like some students, they don't know the. They are um they tend to, for example, um interchange what is horizontal from vertical, right? So we have to teach them or we have to guide them in in solving problems in a multi-step. Okay, so if of course there are um, challenges in there, of course the time constraint and so on, but at least at the very start, for example, the first problem that you will introduce to the students, teach them how to solve the problems or how to understand the texts um, on a certain multi-level uh, way, okay, so that they will not barge into the problem and then later on answer it incorrectly. Okay. Another one is encouraging engaging critically with the material. So critical thinking is essential in physics. We know that. That's very essential. Students who read actively, questioning the materials and summarizing key points are better equipped to grasp difficult concepts. So we have to encourage them to, for example, when studying energy conservation, students should be able to connect theoretical principles with practical examples. So, okay, so dito na naman tayo. So, I mean, here's the challenge now. No? The how do we practice? How do we create laboratory experiments so that the students can experience and compare their data with the theoretical values that we have and so on. So that's another challenge for us. So that's part of their reading ability, and later on, hopefully, would affect their physics achievement. Okay, so